Yo, what up, guys? This is Eager Elo, and this is the great and powerful Trixie falls in love with the pinecone, part 4. Wait, said Piney. I can tell there's something that you want. That much became clear to me during our conversation last night. Pinecone's voice darkened. I can help you get revenge you so obviously crave. I can help you defeat Twilight Sparkle. Twilight blinked twice. Trixie blinked twice in surprise. This was something she had not expected, something she would never have dreamed of. She looked down at Piney and gave only the possible answer she could. Twilight Sparkle? She asked. Who's that? What? She's the purple unicorn who told me about last night. The one who banished the Ursa Minor? So, that's her name. Trixie said, nonplussed. Why would I want to defeat her? I thought she had be the first on your list of ponies to visit. I mean, she stole your thunder. She proved that your claim to fame wasn't true. Don't you want to take revenge? Trixie laughed. Still, Piney, she said. Revenge? She saved every pony, including me. It's not like she ruined my act or something. I barely took time to speak to her before I left. Hardly know the mare. Could we go to her, see her anyway? It asked. I have one last gift for you. I really want you to have it. Please, for me. Well, okay. But no more talk about revenge, okay? Honestly, you are creeping me out a little bit. Trixie followed her pinecone friend's direction to Twilight's library, but Piney stopped her before she could knock the door. You need to eat more of my scales, it said. You'll need all you'll need my power so you can defeat her in magical combat. Piney, no. I refuse to hurt you. And what's this talk about fighting? She said. Honestly, what's gotten into you? Please, it'll just be one time, honest. Aren't you at least a bit curious to see how the greater magical talent? That would probably be a close run thing, she replied. I may be the finest stage magician in Equestria, but I have to admit the unicorn really knew her stuff. But with just one of my scales, you could be the greatest and most powerful spellcaster on this planet. That one last temptation finally convinced her. One last scale, one last taste of power. She swallowed her morsel down and felt her magical abilities improve greatly. She smiled, so Piney wanted to put her in a show. That much more within her comfort zone. She rapped sharply on the door, and Twilight became her. Excuse me. And Twilight came to answer. Oh, she said. Trixie, what are you doing here? Hello, Twilight. Trixie would like to come in, she said. The bemused mare opened her door, and Trixie stepped into the library with her head held high, only to bump into a baby dragon. Spike shook his head, and then gasped as he recognized the pony he collided with. You again? Why have you come back to Ponyville? Here to cause more trouble, no doubt, he said. Why did you let her in, Twilight? She's obviously up to no good. Don't be rude, Spike. She hasn't even done any chance to explain why she's here yet. Why are you here, Trixie? The blue unicorn cleared her throat, and then went into a full stage pony mood. Isn't it obvious? With the victory over the Ursa Minor, you have proven yourself to be a match for the great and powerful Trixie. Trixie has come here to find out who is the most powerful unicorn. She possesses a battle for the ages, a spectacular display of magic that shall be talked about for the eons to come. She demands a satisfaction, a contest, here, now, in Ponyville to compare our abilities. Oh, said Twilight. She tapped her chin, thinking it over as the rival's challenge, then came to a conclusion that she was sure to please every pony. I forfeit. What? Said Piney. What? Said Trixie. What? Said Spike, who then pulled Twilight over to her corner for a team talk. Twilight, this is your chance to put her place in. This is your chance to put her in place once and for all. She finally invited you over to show that you're better than her. She shook her head. You haven't learned anything from yesterday, have you? I don't want to have a grand public display of my magic. That would be showing off, and no pony likes a bragger. Then why don't you just hold a contest here? Nobody else will see that you'll be able to pull your magic into the test. Come on, Twilight. Well, okay, that sounds reasonable. Trixie, are you happy with that? She smiled as her rival nodded her head. Okay then, show us what you got. Trixie's horn glowed, and a smile slowly formed on her face as she cast the flashiest spell she could think of. Using her pinecone enchant's power, she summoned a white ball of light that began to change shape before everyone's eyes. A thin stem grew out of its main body and began to separate into an intricate pattern of petals. By the time her spell was done, she had created a perfectly formed rose out of the white light. A final flourished. She turned it into a solid. She made a fragile image of beauty out of nothing. This was exactly what I was thinking of when I suggested you and she fight. Said, well, I'm sorry about that sentence. That was really shitty. This isn't exactly what I was thinking of when I suggested you and she fight, Piney said, miffed. Shush, said Trixie. She levitated the lighted flower over her neck and merged it with the chain of her cloak's clasp right next to Piney. Ooh, the pinecone cooed appreciatively, touched by the unexpected gift. Trixie smiled smugly. Match that, Sparkle. Yeah, come on, Twilight, said Spike. Show her your greatest trick. Um, said Twilight, at a loss. She had been greatly impressed by Trixie's light show that she didn't even think that she had anything in her arsenal to match it. All of her spells had a practical purpose, but were not designed for a flashy display. Wait, that's not quite right. She had one spell that was designed purely for show. Her horn glowed. Within seconds, the spell was cast. Every pony took a minute to take what Twilight had done. Then Spike, then Spike cracked a smirk, which gave away to giggles, which gave way to hysterical laughter. A po-faced Trixie stared at her rival, a large handlebar mustache sprouting from her upper lip. What have you done to Trixie? She said, unimpressed. Sorry, said Twilight. I couldn't think of anything else to do. Your trick was really something, though. Just hang tight. I'll have this fixed in a jiffy. Whoa, hold up, said Smike, still smiling. You don't know how to fix this, do you, Trixie? No, Trixie does not. She is a magician, not a hairdresser. Aha! In that case, I say you should admit defeat before Twilight changes it back, he said. Everything we can do, you can do better. That's what you said in your show, right? Well, here's something you can't do. The blue unicorn raised an eyebrow, irritated. Surely he wasn't serious. She heard a muffled grunt of discontent from Piney and looked down, and was astonished to see that the pinecone had sprouted a mustache as well. Spike, that's enough. Trixie beat me fair and square, said Twilight, her horn glowing as she reversed the spell. Though, I have to say, you did have an advantage. We study entirely different types of magic. Trixie raised the roof. um, raised the roof. Trixie raised a hoof to her lips to make sure every last trace of her stash was gone. Then she smiled triumphantly. It makes no difference. Trixie has proven that she is superior, and all that matters. Ugh, would you give it a rest already? Spike moaned in disgust. You're such a show-off. That's why every pony was so keen to put you up in your place already. It's because we can't stand you. She tutted dismissively. Oh, please. Don't you know anything about show business? It's all part of the act. Trixie sets up foals and knocks them down. Yeah, great act you got there. Getting up on stage and acting like a great and powerful jerk. How dare you? Trixie is not a jerk. Trixie is a perfectly nice pony when you get to know her. Yeah, right, Spike sneered. Oh, great. I think this ran 10 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop here, make another recording. This is, Eager Elo, and this is the great and powerful Trixie, part 4. Thanks for listening.